and host of Special Report. It is Bret Baier. Welcome back to the show, Bret Baier.
Hey, Kennedy, how are you?
So let's start with this governor's race. Donald Trump, this is a very, very personal one for him. And he went after Governor Kemp for quite some time. Not a surprise he didn't endorse Kemp, but David Perdue, what is that going to do to the Trump magic touch if it fails?
Well, this is one of the races where he's upside down heading in. We don't know what, the only poll that matters is Election Day. We always say that. But it is also an interesting endorsement split in that President Trump endorsed former Senator David Perdue, actually recruited him for this race. And then Vice President Pence endorsed incumbent Governor Brian Kemp. So you have Trump-Pence on both sides of this race. Heading in, Kemp is overwhelming. I mean, our poll had him up 30 points, but it depends on what happens on Election Day. If Kemp wins, he faces a rematch against Stacey Abrams, and you already mentioned where she's getting a lot of criticism talking about her state. You know, when you say it's the worst state to live in, it's not the optimistic Ronald Reagan city on a hill kind of pitch on the back of a bumper sticker. So she'll have to, that'll be in RNC ads or Kemp ads or whatever ads probably soon.
Yes, absolutely. And do Republicans have the same kind of advantage in Georgia that they do across the country in terms of enthusiasm? Who is looking to be the favorite as of now in the fall election?
There is enthusiasm, a lot of it in Georgia. Herschel Walker is expected to cruise through that primary process and become the Senate nominee against Raphael Warnock. And for all of the talk about that voting law and the state legislature passing the voting law and the Major League Baseball moving the All-Star game out of Atlanta, costing Cobb County about $100 million, for all of that, Stacey Abrams weighing in on that controversy, if you remember. Early voting right now is astronomical. It's record turnout with the new law in place in all kinds of communities, black, white, Hispanic, everybody is up, and the voting is not finished. Obviously, they have tomorrow's voting during the day. So it's kind of I'll be interested to see what Major League Baseball has to say about their all-star decision. By the way, they had to go back there when the Braves made the World Series anyway.
You know what I say to that?
What?
Now, Stacey Abrams' campaign manager said there's no correlation between voter suppression and voter turnout, but I think a lot of people would beg to differ with that statement. Because if you have this record turnout that's cross-party in every socioeconomic demographic, I think there's a pretty good case to be made that this is, in fact, the opposite of voter suppression.
Jim Crow 2.0, I mean, using that phrase suggests that there was a manipulated effort to drive down African-American votes or black communities coming out. If you look at where the turnout's coming, it's across the board in Georgia already, and they expect even more. This is more than the presidential election turnout. Now, if you're talking about a law that's designed to drive voter down in some kind of community, you would not be seeing these numbers across the board for a primary election.
No, people are engaged, and they want to talk about it. They want to vote for their candidate and issue of choice. I have a question about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Is she going to get Madison Cawthorn?
It's possible. It's tough in these House races because the polling is so slim. There's just not a lot of polls that specifically target. She's obviously been very controversial. She's been very drawn a lot of criticism from all corners, even on the right. But she has strong fundraising. She has the endorsement of President Trump. She's in a district that is very Trumpian. We don't know until tomorrow. We didn't think Madison Cawthorn was going to be upset, and he was.
Yeah, no, the polling went in the opposite direction for him at the last minute, even with that endorsement. So we will see. Bret, thank you so much.
You bet.